Sister Wives Maddie Brown shares Garrison's sad feeling. Sister Wives star Maddie Brown Brush has recently begun to share more details about her life off-screen. Admittedly, she struggles to understand when a relationship is truly toxic since she was exposed to people she shouldn't have been. Along with her reflection on relationships, she also shares some of the sad feelings she has after losing her brother, Garrison Brown. Undoubtedly, Sister Wives star Maddie Brown Brush has made her mark as she has taken a stance against her dad, Cody Brown. Since she is enforcing boundaries of respect to protect herself and her kids from relationships that aren't healthy for her, Cody isn't invited. Additionally, fans appreciate the strides that Maddie is making with her mom, Janelle Brown with Today All Farms. However, they are being genuine about struggling along the way. While they are getting everything aligned, Maddie has started a podcast, The Authentic Society. The description says, "Join us as we navigate the everyday realities of life." Seemingly, she wants an open platform to discuss raw information without judgment. Likewise, Maddie wants honest, respectful discussions about topics that can be hard. During a recent episode, she talked about the sad feelings she confronted with after her brother, Garrison Brown's death. On Maddie Brown Brush's podcast, The Authentic Society, she discusses an evil that most people in our society fall victim to every day. She shares that influencers have changed the game for how people view their lives. Maddie expresses how sad she is that social media has become a highlight reel for the world to see. Unfortunately, it has created an effect that skews how people view each other. Since everyone seems to be naturally drawn to comparison, Maddie shares a very sad memory she has of Garrison Brown. Unmistakably, she knows that no one has it all figured out. But she knows that when comparison becomes consuming, it is a major factor in mental health. For instance, Garrison was plagued with the comparison game. Sadly, Sister Wives star Maddie Brown Brush reflected on how much social media weighed on Garrison Brown while he was alive. Admittedly, after Garrison's passing, Maddie made a huge shift in her social media presence. She says, "That was like a big thing. After my brother died, I stopped doing filters. He used to talk about so much. He compared himself to social media. And this is something all my siblings have talked about, and my mom, he always felt like he was behind in life." Then, Maddie Brown adds, "So that was the comparison game, like, where you are in your life, your career, he always felt like he was lacking. He would talk about it, and he was like, Instagram, social media is a highlight reel. And you have to remember that. And if you looked at Instagram, you would think his life was perfect. He had his struggles. It's so important to remember what you are looking at is not the reality of the situation. And the comparison between that person, you can't." Then, she gives a quote, "You can't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 10. Because it is very different." Maddie says, "What's for them is for them, and what's for you is for you. And nobody can take that from you." On TikTok, someone reminds others, "Comparison is the thief of joy." Someone else adds, "That makes me sad for Garrison. All we ever saw was a devoted son and brother, and he was still SOYUNG." Another person says, "I talk to so many young men who think their mid-20s is too late to change their lives. They genuinely believe that stuff. Someone challenges, we have to change that narrative for them." Another TikToker compliments Maddie Brown, "I'm so glad she's talking about this. I find social media is where people get depressed and compare their lives. It's a real thing we do not talk about. While it is a natural evil, the comparison game has to stay in check." Maddie Brown Brush recommends that people take a step back and challenge the social norms. Even so, she knows reality can be misleading, and it is important to take time away from the curated lives people display on social media. She says to take breaks and understand when it is a compulsion to be discontent with life. Instead, she focuses on having gratitude right where she is. However, she still plans and strives for goals at the same time. Someone else comments on YouTube, "Maddie, you are wise beyond your years." Another person adds, I don't mind surrounding myself with people who are doing better than me, but the key is to be inspired by them instead of being envious. Additionally, someone remembers the treasure of contentment. The secret to having it all is knowing that you already do. Although some Sister Wives fans are already done with the podcast, others find it refreshing. One fan says they found a pleasant surprise in Maddie Brown's podcast. They say, I am not a podcast person, or if I really want